Hey, have you ever been in the kitchen and suddenly someone asks, "What are we cooking today?" and you just freeze?
Oh, yeah. That moment when you know the words, but you're not sure how to say them naturally, right?
Exactly. Like, I want to say I'm cutting onions, but then I think, is it cutting or chopping?
That's such a real situation. And actually, cooking is one of the best ways to learn everyday English.
Wait, really? Even simple things like asking for garlic?
Yes, and today we're going to make it all feel easy and natural.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily Seed English Podcast, where we plant small seeds of English every day so your confidence can grow naturally.
I love that. Just like cooking, right? You start with simple ingredients, and step by step, something wonderful grows.
Yeah, and sometimes you're not even sure what you're making at first. You just go, I'm winning it today.
And that's totally okay. Learning English can feel the same. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to start.
So today we're stepping into the kitchen.
And learning how to speak naturally while cooking with real phrases you can use every day.
Okay, so let's imagine this. You walk into the kitchen. Maybe it's evening. Maybe you're a little tired. And someone looks at you and says, "What are we cooking today?"
That's such a common question. It sounds simple, but it's actually a very real life sentence.
Yeah, and I think sometimes I understand it, but I don't always feel ready to answer naturally.
That's okay. Let's slow it down a bit. When someone asks, "What are we cooking today?" they're just starting a conversation. It's not only about food, it's also about planning together.
Oh, so it's like an invitation.
Exactly. It's like saying, "Hey, what's the plan?" Or "What do you feel like making?"
So I don't have to panic and think of something fancy like, "We shall prepare a 5-course meal tonight."
No, no, keep it simple. You can say things like, maybe some stir fry. I'm thinking about cooking chicken. Let's make something quick.
Oh, that feels much easier, like normal talking.
Yes, always aim for natural, not perfect.
Okay, so let's say we decide to cook, stir fry. What comes next?
Then we start preparing ingredients, and this is where a very useful phrase comes in. I'm chopping some onions for the stir fry.
Hmm, chopping, not cutting?
Good question. Both are correct, but chopping feels more natural in cooking. It usually means cutting into small pieces.
So I can say, I'm chopping onions. I'm chopping carrots.
Yes, perfect. You can even make it softer. I'm just chopping some onions. I'm chopping a few vegetables.
Just chopping sounds very relaxed, like I'm not stressed.
Exactly. Adding words like just, a bit, some makes your English feel more natural and friendly.
Okay, but what if I need help? Like, I can't find something.
Then you can use a very common and polite sentence. Can you pass me the garlic?
Can you pass me the garlic? Yeah, that sounds super useful.
It is. You can change garlic to anything. Can you pass me the salt? Can you pass me the knife? Can you pass me the soy sauce?
I feel like I would say this a lot in the kitchen,
Yes, especially when your hands are busy or messy.
or when I'm too lazy to move.
That too.
You know, I noticed something. These sentences are not complicated, but they feel very real.
That's the key. Everyday English is not about big words. It's about small, useful sentences you repeat often.
So it's better to master simple phrases like, "What are we cooking today?" "I'm chopping some onions." "Can you pass me the garlic?"
Yes, and use them again and again in different situations.
Oh, and what about when we start cooking? Like when the pan is ready?
Ah, that's a great moment to use this sentence. Let's saute the vegetables first.
Saute. That sounds a bit fancy.
It does, but it's actually very common. It means cooking food quickly in a little oil, usually in a pan.
So, like frying.
Similar, but usually lighter and quicker than deep frying.
Let's saute the vegetables first.
Yes, and notice let's.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Let's means let us, but we use it to suggest doing something together.
So I can say, let's cook something. Let's start now. Let's try this.
Perfect. It's friendly, inclusive, and very natural.
So cooking is actually teamwork.
Always better with teamwork.
Then I can say, teamwork in the kitchen.
Yes, that's a fun phrase. It's not just about cooking, it's about enjoying the process together.
Oh, and what about this situation, when we're preparing meat?
Ah, yes. Then you might hear, how do you want the chicken cut, in cubes or strips?
Cubes, strips.
Cubes are small square pieces. Strips are long, thin pieces.
So I can answer, in cubes, please. I prefer strips.
Exactly. Very clear and natural.
You know, I feel like this is something listeners can really imagine.
Yes, so let's invite them to join us for a moment.
Okay, so if you're listening right now, imagine you're in your kitchen.
Maybe you're cooking with a friend or a family member.
What would you say first? Would you ask, what are we cooking today?
Or maybe you'd say, can you pass me the garlic?
Or even, I'm just chopping some onions.
Try saying it out loud just once. It helps your brain remember.
Oh, that's a good idea. Speaking out loud always feels a bit strange at first, but it really helps.
Yes, and don't worry about mistakes. Even small practice is powerful.
So today, we're not just learning words, we're building real-life conversations.
Exactly. Step by step, like cooking a good meal.
Now I'm actually getting hungry.
Me too, and we're just getting started.
Okay, now we're really cooking, right? Like the pan is hot, the ingredients are ready.
Yes, this is where things get more active, and you'll hear a lot of action phrases.
Ooh, like what?
Let's start with a very natural one. The oil is hot enough now. Let's throw in the ingredients.
Oh, I like that. Throw in. Sounds very energetic.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't mean you literally throw things hard. It just means putting ingredients into the pan quickly.
So I can say, let's throw in the onions. Throw in the garlic first.
Perfect. And notice again the let's. We're doing it together.
But cooking can be a bit dangerous too, right?
Yes, and that's why we use warning phrases like, be careful, the pan is really hot.
Ah, yeah, that's super important.
You can use be careful in many situations, not just cooking.
Like, be careful, the floor is wet. Be careful, that knife is sharp.
Exactly. It shows you care about someone's safety.
Okay, now the food is cooking. What do we say while we're waiting?
A very useful sentence is, I'm simmering the sauce on low heat.
Simmering. That's like cooking slowly, right?
Yes, it means cooking gently, usually with small bubbles, not too hot.
So, I'm simmering the soup. Let it simmer for a few minutes.
Perfect. And on low heat means not too hot, very controlled.
Okay, now imagine the smell is coming out.
Yes, and this is where we describe the food.
I know this one. This smells amazing already.
Yes, that's a very natural reaction.
Can I change it a bit?
Of course.
It smells really good. Wow, this smells so nice.
All of those are great. Adding words like really, so, already makes your reaction more expressive.
And what if I don't know what's inside the dish?
Then you can ask, what spices are you using? It smells so good.
What spices are you using? Yeah, that sounds natural.
It's a great way to show interest and continue the conversation.
And maybe I'll learn a secret recipe.
Maybe.
Oh, and taste is important too, right?
Of course. You can ask, do you prefer it spicy or mild?
Spicy or mild?
Spicy means hot with chili. Mild means not spicy, softer taste.
So I can say, I prefer it spicy. I like it mild.
Yes, very clear and useful.
What about before cooking, like preparing the meat or sauce?
Good point. You can say, I'm going to let this marinate for 10 minutes.
Marinate. That means putting it in sauce first?
Exactly. You leave the food in spices or sauce so it gets more flavor.
So let it marinate. Marinate the chicken for a while.
Perfect.
But sometimes I forget to watch the food and it burns.
That happens to everyone.
Yeah, I get distracted easily.
Then this sentence is very important. Stir it constantly so it doesn't burn.
Stir it constantly.
Stir means move the food around. Constantly means all the time, without stopping.
So no checking my phone?
Exactly. Focus on the food.
What if I need help again?
Then you can say, want to help me dice the tomatoes?
Dice. Is that like chopping?
Yes, but more specific. Dicing means cutting into small cubes.
Dice the onions. Dice the tomatoes.
Perfect. And want to help me is very friendly and casual.
Okay, now the dish is almost ready, right?
Yes, and this is where you can express excitement again.
Like, this is going to be so delicious.
Yes, that shows anticipation before you even taste it.
Okay, listeners, your turn again.
Imagine you're cooking right now.
What would you say?
Maybe stir it constantly so it doesn't burn. Or this smells amazing already.
Or maybe you're asking someone, do you prefer it spicy or mild?
Try saying one sentence out loud. Just one.
You know, I'm starting to feel more confident just by saying these simple things.
That's the goal. Small sentences, repeated often, become natural.
And also more fun.
Yes, learning should feel enjoyable, like cooking together.
Okay, this is my favorite part. The food is almost ready.
Yes, this is where all the effort comes together.
So what do we say when we're about to finish?
A very natural sentence is, taste it and tell me if it needs more seasoning.
Oh, that sounds very real, like asking for feedback.
Exactly. You're inviting someone to try the food and give their opinion.
So I can say, taste it, or tell me what you think.
Yes, and needs more seasoning means maybe more salt, pepper, or spices.
And what if I taste it and it's not good?
Then we fix it.
So maybe I say, it needs more salt?
Perfect. Or maybe a bit more pepper. Or it needs a little more flavor.
Okay, so no pressure. We can always adjust.
Exactly. Cooking and learning English is all about adjusting step by step.
And when it's finally ready,
Then we say, let's plate it up and see how it looks.
plate it up. I like that.
It means putting the food nicely onto a plate, ready to eat.
Let's plate it up. Time to plate it.
Yes, both are natural.
And then comes the best moment, tasting it.
Yes, and reacting honestly.
Like, this turned out better than I expected.
That's such a satisfying sentence.
Especially if I was worried before.
Yes, it shows surprise in a positive way.
This is really good. It turned out great.
Perfect. Simple and natural.
And what if we want to talk about flavor more?
Then you can say things like, I think we should add a little soy sauce for umami.
Umami. That's like a rich taste, right?
Yes, it's a deep, savory flavor. Soy sauce often adds that.
Add a little soy sauce. It needs more flavor.
Great. You don't always need the word umami, but it's nice to know.
Okay, but what if I don't follow a recipe at all?
Then you can say, I'm winging it today. No exact recipe.
I love that one.
It means you're cooking freely, without strict instructions.
I'm just winging it. No recipe today.
Yes, very natural and relaxed.
And if we're cooking together?
Then we can say, teamwork in the kitchen.
That sounds fun.
It makes the moment lighter and more enjoyable.
And I can also say, you're on chopping duty.
Yes, that means you're giving someone a task.
You're on cooking duty. You're on dishwashing duty.
Perfect. It's playful but clear.
Oh, and something practical, like when the kitchen gets smoky.
Then you can remind someone, don't forget to turn on the exhaust fan.
That's very useful. Real life again.
Yes, these small sentences are everywhere in daily life.
You know, I feel like cooking is not just about food anymore.
Yes, it's about communication, connection, and sharing moments.
And all these phrases, they're simple, but they make conversations feel natural.
Exactly. That's how fluency grows, through real situations.
Okay, listeners, one last moment for you.
Imagine your dish is ready.
What would you say?
Maybe, taste it and tell me if it needs more seasoning, or let's plate it up.
Or proudly say, this turned out better than I expected.
Try saying one sentence out loud, just one.
And hey, even if your cooking isn't perfect,
Your English is growing little by little.
just like our daily seed.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today on Daily Seed English Podcast.
Keep practicing these small, real-life phrases and use them whenever you can.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who's also learning English.
Because every small step matters.
And remember, every day is a chance to learn better.
See you in the next one. Bye.